Hello everyone. Before watching this video, I sincerely advise all of you, please go and watch the previous two videos because this video is continuation of the previous two videos. In the first video, I have explained how we can understand the variables associated with the water level control in a tank. And in the second video, I clearly explained how the proportional controller action takes place and what are the advantages of proportional controller and what are the disadvantages of proportional controller in detailed manner. Now let us discuss about integral action. Now as usually, let us take the block diagram of our liquid level control. So as I said, the deviation in the set point is 4 milliampere. 4 milliampere we have taken like 4 into U of t, and by this term you all people might be knowing that E cap of t is nothing but the deviation in the error, and IC cap of t is nothing but the deviation in the controller output from the initial steady state value, and QI of t is nothing but the deviation in the actuator output, that is nothing but the fluid flow rate, and HM cap of t is nothing but water level deviation with respect to time. So how can we write HM cap of t? HM cap of t can be given as HM of t can be given as, that is water level with respect to time can be given as HM cap of t plus HMG. Clear? So this is a basic equation with respect to time and the deviation and the initial steady state value. So this is the reason why I sincerely advise you, please watch the previous two videos before going further, such that you will be able to understand the things in much more comfortable way. The previous video also have explained clearly how the error can be written here. E of t can be written as, or E cap of t can be written as, that is HS cap of t minus HM cap of t. This means the deviation in the water level minus the deviation in the measurement of water. And this E cap of t is nothing but deviation in the set point with respect to current minus deviation of the transmitter current. Clear? So now this deviation is equals to 4 milliampere. But unfortunately, this deviation in the measured current will not immediately becomes 4 milliampere. It takes some time. Clear? So how fast it will going to take? That is what we are going to discuss. Or whether this deviation and will be equal to 4 milliampere or not. Because ultimately both of these two should be equal. If both of these two equals, then this value will be equal to this value. This means measured water level will be equal to set point. Clear? Now the relation, if you see, QI cap of t can be written as a K dash, that is actuator constant, into IC cap of t. As we took the K dash is equal to 1, QI cap of t can be written as 1 into IC cap of t. That's what I have mentioned here. Clear? And the linear relation between the water level and the current can be given as HM cap of t is equal to 1 by 8 into IM cap of t. So beyond this, nothing is there here, but all these variables I have been explaining almost from the past 3 videos, right? So now let us look at what is going to happen here. If you take the process dynamics here, that is dHm cap of t by dt plus HM cap of t is equal to Qi of t, this equation, because this is the first order equation of the liquid level inside the tank, and Qi of t can be written as, wherever Qi of t is there, that can be written as 1 into IC of t, this equation, right? Now this function of the controller, in case of the proportional controller, it is a simple constant k. But in case of integral controller, IC of t or IC cap of t can be written as some constant ki into integration of the error within the limits 0 to t. That means this is the output of the controller if you use the integral controller here, or an integrator which is designed by the operational amplifier here. Clear? So that means integral controller output can be written as ki integral of 0 to t E of t dt. Clear? Now the interesting fact here is, if you expand this E of t, how can I write in terms of water? Because it can be written actually E cap of t. That's a good sign actually. It's better because as the offset is same for both the variables here, so there won't be any difference even if you use the cap here or not, non-cap values. But anyway, it's good practice to write the cap. Cap means deviation in the error. Okay, so that will be equal to deviation in the set point of the water level minus this one, because we have understood all these things earlier itself. I explained all these things. Right? Now, if you replace this water level with respect to current, So how can I write Hm cap of t in terms of current? Because we have seen Hm cap of t is equal to 1 by 8 into Im cap of t. At the same time, Hs cap of t is also equal to 1 by 8 into Is cap of t. These are linear relations. We have been discussing these relations almost from the past two videos, right? So now, if I substitute this here, then it will going to become like this. Wherever this is there, we can convert this simply into current. This is converted into current. This is also converted into current. And here, the error can be written like this. And this is converted like this. And this is converted like this. 8 is to, I took 8 common. So 8 will be here. Now if we multiply both sides with the 8, so 8 will going to get cancelled here, here, here. The interesting factor here is, once the 8 is cancelled, we are having differentiation here and integration here. Now differentiate both sides. If you differentiate both sides, it will going to become d by dt. So altogether it is a second order differentiation now. And here it will come first order, that is d by dt into Im cap of t equals to this integration will be cancelled by the differentiation, and you will be able to have you will be having only ki into Is cap of t minus Im cap of t. Now already we know that Is cap of t is nothing but 4 times of u of t, right? Because the variation in the set point is 4 milliampere, and that too, that is a step input, right? So if you bring here and substitute here, 4 into u of t will be here. So this Im cap of t ki, I took this side. Altogether, if you observe, this looks like a second order equation. Second order equation. So what does it mean? Right? So the order of the differential equation is increased. So that means integral controller always increases the order of the system. So when the order of the system is increased, naturally the response takes lot of time to reach to its desired values. That means first conclusion we can say, as the order is high, it is going to become slow in responding, right? So that means integral controller works very slowly. This is the first thing. Clear? So because in proportional controller we got the differential equation as first order, so we don't have any problem because order of the process and order of the whole system both are same. But here order of the process is first order. But when you look at the whole control system, the order of this Hm of t or Im of t is in the second order, right? So that means it takes a lot of time to get the desired responses. Now let us consider this second order differential equation to find the value of Im of t, Im cap of t. Because if you get Im cap of t, then you can get Hm cap of t. If you get Hm cap of t, then we can get the Hm of t. How? Because we know Hm of t is equal to Hm cap of t plus Hm of 0, right? So same things I am discussing almost from the past 3 videos, right? So now the good thing to find out or to solve this differential equation, either we can use the differential equation approach, or else the best thing is we can go for Laplace transform. Now if you apply Laplace transform on both sides, let's see what will happen. Apply Laplace transform on both sides. If you apply Laplace transform on both sides, it looks like this. That is, this will going to become like s square into Im cap of s, right? Because minus initial condition, but initial value of Im cap of 0 is 0, right? So plus this will become like s into Im cap of s plus ki into Im cap of s equals to, this will be 4ki by s, because u of t, if you apply Laplace transform for this function, you will going to get 1 by s. From here, Im cap of s can be conveniently written as 4 times of 4 into ki by s into s square plus s plus ki. Clear? So this is actually nothing but, if you look at carefully, it's the step response of second order system, correct? So step is multiplied with the system transfer function, so it is actually nothing but the step response of second order system. Now the good thing is, if you look at only this portion here, we can write directly the natural frequency omega n is equal to under root of ki, because this is the standard second order system transfer function, right? So then 2 zeta omega n is equal to 1. If you compare that, then zeta can be written as 1 by 2 omega n, that can be written here as 1 by under root of 2 ki. See, I am not going in detail here because I pre-assume that being a control engineer, you must know the standard transfer function for a second order system, that is omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. If you compare, you will going to get this. This means that both omega n and zeta both will going to depend on the value of integral constant, that is ki. Right? Now, in books you might be studied that step response of second order system. In fact, this is actually a underdamped system, probably, right? Yes, it should be underdamped system here. Right, now how can we get Im cap of t? So we can use the partial fraction here, and if you use partial fractions and all these things, at the end you will be able to get this as 4 into 1 second. And I sincerely advise you can do this with the partial fraction, or else those people who remembered this equation, that is integral of, that is step height into 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n into t under root of, divided by under root of 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega d into t plus 5. This is actually nothing but step response of second order underdamped system. Okay, so now if you replace this slowly, that what is omega n here and zeta? We have both the values zeta and omega n here. If you multiply that, you will going to get zeta into omega n here. This root ki will going to get, you will going to have 1 by 2. So this is going to be 0.5 times of t. And here it is going to be zeta square. Zeta square means how much here? This will going to become like 1 by 4 times of ki. Right? And sine omega dt into 5. I presume that you might be knowing this fact that omega d is equals to what? Omega d is equals to omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square, right? And you should also know how the phase will be calculated, because phase also depends on the zeta value, right? So the phase, it depends on the zeta value. Now what I would like to ask here is, this is all the way Im cap of t. What's the use of this one? Im cap of t, why we need to find? Because if you find the Im cap of t, it's very simple to understand Im of t. What is Im of t now? Im of t is equal to Im cap of t, that is deviation in the transmitter current, plus the initial value of the meter current. Initial value of the transmitter current is how much? Im of 0, right? So this Im of 0, already we know that this will be 8 milliampere. Almost I have been discussing this from the last 3 videos, because as I said, if you are not listening the first 2 videos, you won't understand this one, 8 milliampere, right? Now let me say, instead of Im cap of t, let me write down this as Im of t. That will be equal to Im cap of t plus, here now we are going to have 8 milliampere. 8 altogether in milliamperes. So because earlier we have calculated Im of t, now I am adding this to the previous equation. Altogether now it is going to be your Im of t. Correct? So in fact, this whole value will be in milliampere. This is what I would like to say. Clear? Now, if you look at the water level, how the water level is going to change? Because we know that water level Hm of t can be given as 1 by 8 into Im of t minus 4 milliampere. Right? This we already discussed many times. Right? Now, Im of t is known to you, minus 4 milliampere divided by 8. So let us see how Hm of t looks like now. So Hm of t will be equals to, now it can be written as this minus 4 milliampere, so it will become 4 milliampere by 8. So it will going to be equal to 0.5 whole into 1 minus e power minus 0.5 times of t, minus 0.5 times of t, divided by under root of 1 minus 1 by 4 times of ki into sine omega dt plus 5, right? And then plus 4 by 8. So it is going to be 0.5. All the way, this total will be in meters. This is going to be the way how the water level varies with respect to time. Now by this time, we calculated the value of Im of t and Hm of t. What Im of t indicates here? That is, Im of t indicates the transmitter current with respect to time, and Hm of t indicates the water level with respect to time, not the deviation. Im of t includes both deviation and initial steady state value. Hm of t indicates both deviation and initial water level. Right? Now let us go deeply here. So as we got up to here, we should understand two things here. Zeta depends on Ki and omega n also depends on Ki. Now let us look at what happens with respect to time. If you look at with respect to time, here t and Im of t and then Hm of t. So if you substitute 0 seconds here, that means at starting, 0 seconds here at starting, let's see what happens. At 0 seconds, if you go and see the value of Hm of t here, if you substitute t is equal to 0, e power 0, 1, and it will become sine phi. Sine phi is nothing but under root of 1 minus zeta square. So if you substitute t is equal to 0, this will become 0. Sine phi is equals to under root of 1 minus zeta square. That means this and this both will going to cancel. And if both cancel, and this is 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 0 into 0.5, 0 plus 0.5. So that means water level is actually 0.5 meter, and we know that. We already know this one, right? And what about Im0? The interesting factor here is, if you substitute 0 here, same thing will happen here. This will come down to 0, and sine phi and this both will going to cancel, because we already know that sine phi is nothing but under root of 1 minus zeta square, right? So if you substitute t is equal to 0, it will become 1. 1 minus whole together 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 4 into 0, 0. And this will be actually nothing but 8 milliampere current. Clear? These are the initial values of both the transmitter current as well as the water level, right? Now, if you substitute t is equal to infinity, let us see what will going to happen. That means this t is equal to infinity will be written as steady state. That means we are waiting for a long time. Wait for a long time at t is equal to infinity. Interestingly, the current, if you look at here, t is equal to infinity means this factor will become 0. If this factor becomes 0, whatever it is there here, that will become 0, right? So there is no significance for this when this is equal to 0. So when this becomes 0, overall it will become 0. 1 minus 0, 1 into 4 plus 8. So that means the meter current or the transmitter current will come to 12 milliampere slowly. Clear? And what about this one? That is Hm of 0. Hm of 0 can be written, Hm of infinity. If you substitute infinity, this will become 0. Irrespective of this, now it will everything will become 0 here. 1 minus 0, 1, 1 into 0.5, 0.5. 0.5 plus 0.5, it will going to become 1 meter. Correct? So that means Hm is equal to 1 meter. And we already know that our required set point is 1 meter. So now percentage of steady state error can be given as required value of the water level is 1 meter at steady state, that means at infinite seconds, minus process variable. This is process variable is also equal to 1 meter by set point minus process variable by set point into 100, clear, into 100. So this will come down to be equal to 0%. So what does it mean? Though integral controller is slow in response, you can expect 0 steady state error irrespective of the value of Ki. Clear? So this is the biggest advantage of integral controller, because integral controller may work slowly, but ultimately we will get the desired thing, that is steady state error is equal to 0. right? Now, if you look at the graph for this, how the graph looks like here. So if you look at the water level in the tank, this is 0, and it might be like T here in seconds. Now, before 0, that means before we apply the change in set point, water level was at 0.5 meter, right? So this is 0.5 meter water level starting, right? So up to T is equal to 0, water level is actually at 0.5 meter. Let me write down this as HM of T. Okay. Now, interesting fact, have you observed here? Exactly at T is equal to 0. Whatever it may be, ultimately our destination should be what? Our destination should be, we need to reach the 1 meter line, right? So effectively it should change 0.5 meter. Now, after T greater than 0, if you look at infinite time, this water level will going to reach 1 meter, right? So that means finally it will come to 1 meter. After a long time it will come to 1 meter. But if you look at carefully, the sine omega t plus 5, this one, for certain time this factor will become negative. When this factor becomes negative into negative, it will become positive, right? Positive means 1 plus positive, right? So there is a chance here, sometimes the value will be more than 1 meter, and after some time, if it is positive into negative, this whole value positive into negative means negative 1 minus negative, so it will be less than 0.5 change. So the overall value will be less than this one. So sometimes it will be less, sometimes it will be more, and it will going to oscillate like this, and finally it will come back and reaches to the required value. This is how the water level in the tank varies with respect to time. Here finally it will going to reach the required value. Now have you understood here? We are getting actually underdamped response in water level. That means water level initially at 0.5 meter, it will cross 1 meter and oscillate about the 1 meter line for some time, and then it will going to stop at 1 meter. Clear? So as the order of the system is increased because of the integral controller, we are getting oscillatory response in the output. So oscillatory behavior in the response. This is not suggestible in general, because we want to reach the 1 meter smoothly and steadily. So this means that if you are using the first order system, as the order of the overall control system is increased because of the integral controller, there is a chance to get the oscillatory response, and oscillatory response is not preferable in general, right? And one more problem here is, if you look at the peak overshoot here, let me say percentage of peak overshoot M. Okay, so how can we calculate it? Percentage of peak overshoot, POS means peak overshoot, that can be written as e power minus zeta pi by under root of 1 minus zeta square into 100. And we already know that zeta depends on the value of Ki. Earlier I told you both zeta and omega n both will going to depend on Ki. Now let's see what will going to happen here. So zeta and Ki, let's say Ki here and the value of zeta and percentage of peak overshoot. Right? So we know the relation between zeta and Ki is equal to, zeta is equal to 1 by under root of Ki. Clear? Suppose if I take Ki is equal to 1, zeta will be equal to how much? 0.5. Right? And if I take Ki is equals to 4, under root of 4, 2 into 2, 4, zeta will be equals to 1 by 4, that is 0.25. And if I take this is equal to 9, if I take Ki is equal to 9, then under root of 9, 3 into 2, 6, 1 by 6, this is going to be 0.16. Now have you seen this one here? When we increase in the value of Ki, the zeta value is actually reducing. Zeta value is reducing means percentage of peak overshoot will going to increase. Because if you go for the higher values of Ki, there is a chance here that zeta will become too low. If the zeta becomes too low, this means we are not able to apply the proper damping. There is no damping, then this response will going to become undamped. And if it becomes undamped, then we will going to get complete oscillator behavior in the water level. That means water level will going to swing like this about 1 meter. It will not come to steady state. Clear? To make it to come to steady state, definitely we need to have a proper value of zeta. Clear? And the percentage of peak overshoot actually depends on the value of zeta. So let me conclude the things here. So the first thing, if we use the integral controller, first thing, the order of the response will going to increase. Second thing, integral controller decrease the speed of response. And the third one is, we will going to get oscillatory behavior in the response. Third one, these three are the disadvantages, and the advantage is we will be able to reach comfortably to the required desired value. Clear? So in one line, what I want to say is, it may be slow, but it is accurate. So I hope you enjoyed this integral controller concept. So to understand the derivative controller concept, I would advise you, please watch the next video so that the derivative controller will be completed.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and if you want to find more of this kind of questions, connect to my channel. Namaste.